How many of you guys have been in love before? By a show of hands. All right. That's wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so here I am. I had met this incredible and amazing man. He would do absolutely anything for me, but he made a few fatal mistakes. And because of that, I found myself needing to walk away from him. Now, that was probably the best thing that I could have ever done, not from the perspective of me not being with him, but because that breakup caused me so much heartache that I was sitting in my room on my bed and I was in tears. I was in a state of depression. I literally shut down for 3 days because even though I was the one who needed to walk away, it still left me with this sense of brokenness. And because I felt like a part of me still needed to be healed, I lamented for 3 days. And when I emerged from that room, I was relieved, but I could not emerge before I heard the voice of God. And he literally took a full-size mirror and put it in front of me. Has anybody ever stood in the mirror, in a full-size mirror naked? It's not cute. You see all of the dimples. You see every little fat pocket. You see everything that you really don't want to see. So my experience is what I call my awakening. It was when God showed me to myself. When he showed me my attitudes and every egregious thing that I had ever done. And I said, oh, that's enough right there to keep you in a state of perpetual depression. But guess what? It gave me a sense of peace. And while it didn't make me feel good at first, I had this deep sense that I was going to break through to the next level in my life. Because I had seen what I couldn't see before. I could not see myself. And so what this did, this breakup literally changed my life. Because it made me go deep down into myself. And so love, in and of itself, is so vitally important for all of us. Because it is only when we love deeply that there is a shift or a change in our behavior. Love will cause you to do things differently when you lose. But on the other side of that, love always wins. So one of the things, well, there's a few of the things that I had to do in order for me to change. One of the first things I had to do was to surrender. I had to surrender all that I thought I knew about love and relationships. I had to put it down because it was no longer serving me. My mindset was twisted, to say the least. I had learned what love was from watching my family, my friends, broken marriages, broken relationships. I had watched others, as well as myself, throw temper tantrums in order to get their way. I had watched myself and others try to control what other people were going to do and what they were going to say and how they were going to be, for crying out loud. But when I surrendered all that I thought I knew, when I allowed myself to give it all away, was when I first began to get free. That's when everything started to flow in my life. When I realized that I needed to forgive myself for every mistake that I have made. When I realized that I needed to forgive everybody in my life who had ever hurt me. They helped to create this person that I am, but I went along willingly. So I did have to go back and to some even apologize. I said, I am so sorry that I wasn't better to you, but now that I know better, please accept my apology. Now, I know a lot of you probably wouldn't go that far, but you understand I am a love and relationships coach. So I needed to get myself together before I can really operate fully and completely in this love. Because this is what I have determined. Perfect love is the ability to put down your will for the sake of others, to not try to control or manipulate, to try to operate in total servitude and surrender, never feeling the need to be bigger than or to try to prove. Just let people be and love them where they are. I needed to understand that love is a state of being. It's not something that you feel as much as it is something that you do. And all of this time, I have been feeling my way through all of my relationships. So I'm going to go back to my little list, one of which was surrender. That's the first thing I needed to do. And so I did that. I started letting everything go. It's not that serious. I love you more than I care about any infraction. I want to keep you in my life, and I love you because you are you and you add value to me. Then I had to accept myself with all of my flaws and everything that I had ever done. I had to forgive myself for what I allowed to happen in my life. And I had to get clarity about who and what I wanted for my life. That's what brought me to this place of love, because once I was able to define what love was and what love is for me, I was able to give love more freely than I had ever given it before. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I was sitting in church one Sunday many years ago, and my pastor was preaching about Moses and the Pharaoh. Everybody knows that story. And I know that everybody in this room understood that Moses stood there and said, "Let my people go." So I'm sitting in church, as most people do, and I automatically equate myself to Moses as in the character, because I needed to be free, right? So I actually went home. I bought the tape. It was that long ago. It was a tape. It wasn't a CD, right? Okay. So I brought the tape home, and usually when I'm doing my Friday or Saturday evening cleaning, I put the tape on, listening to the good word, and it was good. And I'm listening to it again, and I listened to it over and over again, over a course of maybe like a year or so. And all of a sudden, I stopped seeing myself as the Moses in the story. I started to see myself as the Pharaoh. You guys know what that's like? My goodness. I said to myself, my goodness, has my heart towards people become so hardened that I put myself in a position that I've erected so many fences that I don't know how to love? That took me to this place. So when I gained clarity about who I am, about who I want to be, I had to choose love. I give love everywhere I go, and it rises to greet me. I greet people with a bountiful, warm smile. I say hello when I see them. I look them in their eye because I understand that we are all connected. And the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, no matter what we think, no matter how much vile hatred is out here in this world, love always wins. It always wins.